My guest today is Erin Friday. She's a lawyer and parent advocate. Today she'll discuss California laws on gender transformation and how she dealt with this personally.
I trusted the doctors, I trusted the teachers. That part was so painful to understand. Parents are bullied. Doctors will tell them, would you rather have a dead daughter or a live son? You have to raise your voice. They can't cancel us all.
I'm Siamai Korami. Welcome to California Insider. Erin, it's great to have you. Welcome.
So great to be here. Thank you.
We want to talk to you about a phenomenon that's been happening in California. Genders are changing without parents' approvals for kids that are in schools. There is a recent movie that actually Epoch TV and us, we produced. It's called Gender Transformation and the Untold Realities. And you were part of this movie. Before we get into discussing this movie, can you tell us about what's happening? A lot of people don't know about the laws in California of kids at school changing their gender without telling parents. Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, so there's been a movement for probably the last 5 years where children are being asked their pronouns at school and asked what their chosen name is. And in some schools, it's even daily. They're asked to provide their pronouns and name that they want to be called. And this opens up a door to these kids to get confused gender-wise. They're starting to wonder, well, maybe even though I was born a boy, maybe I'm actually a girl. So it starts really at the school level. And then what the schools are being taught by the Department of Education in California is that once a child comes out with a different name or pronoun than their biological sex, that they must keep that a secret from the parents. And that's actually not true. That's not what the law says. But that's what teachers are doing because they're being taught that that's what they are required to do. They're also being taught that the child could be abused by the family should the child come out with a gender identity that doesn't match their sex. And that's also not true. We don't see any evidence of that. We don't see families kicking their children out, especially their minor children, if they are gender confused. In fact, the opposite happens. The parents love the child a little harder, care for the child a little more, and pay more attention. So that's what's happening at the schools. And then on top of it, these kids are going to counselors that are paid for by California tax dollars. They're going to counselors on campus and off campus without parents knowing. There's no consent required for a 12-year-old to go to a mental health counselor off campus or on campus. Parents have no idea that their child might be missing math class and going to a counselor. And those counselors, again, are trained in this affirmation model. They are trained to say that when a child says that they're a different gender, that they blindly affirm, yes, you are. Yes, you are now a girl. And that can be happening behind parents' back for weeks, months on end. And parents have no idea.
And while the kids are at school, this can happen all.
Yes, it happens during the school day. And what they also do is they have affinity clubs, and they'll use euphemisms like you be you or the ally club, and they'll happen at lunchtime. And teachers will even be on video saying, this is the sweet spot, lunchtime, because you don't have to get consent from the parents, and the parents don't know that the child is spending their lunch in a meeting that they're talking about transgenderism the whole time. And they're doing this at younger and younger ages.
Is this happening in all schools in California that they're asking about the gender, or is it like, do they do it on a regular basis, or how does it work?
The vast majority of public schools, it is happening. They're asking children for their pronouns. They're infusing classwork with transgenderism. There's even math problems, word problems, that will have transgenderism themes in that. They put it in Spanish when they talk about gendered, nouns. it's making its way through every course. Kindergartners, TK, which is 4-year-olds, they are being read books like I Am Jazz, The Color Red, and these are all, or the Red Crayon, sorry. These are all books that will teach a child that you could be born in the wrong body. So they're planting the seed when these kids are 4 and 5, when they're still believing in Santa Claus, when they have fantastical thinking, and they're planting it. And as that child goes through that public school setting, they learn it over and over again.